Okay. And this looks like we are live. Let me post a link. Let me check the quality. Yeah, I think we should be fine. Hey, so this is part 3 in our series on the 2025 Polkadot Treasury report, Q1. So what we did so far was we made a plan on what we want to do, and we basically want to replicate the effort of the last reports, but we're gonna consolidate our workflow a little bit and make sure everything is clean. We gathered the basic data, which we have here, and we did some small improvements to the code. And there's 2 more things that we can do in the code. So this is the first part of this session, and then we're gonna finish the categorization, and we're gonna categorize the child boundaries also. There's sometimes a little bit of boring work, so maybe I cut the stream off at this point. But yeah, the beginning of this session is how we implement a Subsquare API call and grab the data for that. So this is how we're gonna start. So what I discovered when I was looking at my report is that a certain piece of data is not yet getting grabbed, and that is the fellowship treasury spends. These are still fairly small, but these are becoming interesting amounts, and I'm just interested to implement that API call, and I think it's also interesting to teach. So this is what we're gonna do now. Okay. So I guess we will start by reviewing how we are fetching the other data so far, and then we will extend our approach. So right now we have 2 facilities that are live. The first one is the one that grabs referendum. So this is basically the same thing that you see on this screen, where we grab a list of referenda. So the equivalent to the screen, and then the other thing is the child bounties. Where is it? There has to be a bounty screen somewhere. Yeah, there is a bounty screen, and then child bounties are basically the spends out of bounties. And so this is also what we're querying. So how do we do this in our code? Let's review this a little bit. So we have our Subsquare data provider, and let's look at, okay, so we have this function here, fetch referenda. Right, and what we're doing here is we're going to this endpoint, which is Subsquare.io. So this is not an official API, but it's a fairly stable API. And I have a good connection to the Subsquare team, and this API has been staying stable. It's the same API that they use for their own website. It's not a public API, so it could change in the future without a public notice. But so far I'm very happy. So let's have a look and see what this API gives us. Oops. So we're gonna fill this in, and this allows you to query different networks like Polkadot and Kusama. So, and it goes to like polkadot.subsquare.io/API/gov2/referendums. And then what it gives you is a paged result, and each result, so it's a descending order of referenda. So it begins with the latest referendum, I believe. Let's compare it. Okay, it even begins with the order that we have on the screen here. So it's basically a screen order. It's already a prepared order, and it's not even a descending order, but it's like sort of descending order. Yeah, it just prioritizes sorting by the status in some manner. So the deciding ones are ranked first, and then maybe the ones that have just, this one is confirming, so confirming first, then deciding, and then the ones that are preparing, and then the ones that are approved or rejected and so on. Okay, so some kind of order that we're receiving, and you see it's a page result, so it shows page 1 and page size. So when we look at the code, what we do is we take the base URL, and then we have our helper function here, and the helper function takes the base URL and then it adds the page and the page size. So, and we're gonna be a little bit nasty, and we're gonna ask for a larger page size. So what we do is we ask for page size equals 100. So we get 100 results per page. Right, so we have 100 results. And then we're also adding our page. And we're, for example, saying we're interested in page 2. And then we get page 2 with 100 items, and we start somewhere in the 1,400 region, right? So this is what we're getting. Okay, so we have that facility, and so typically what I do is I just reverse engineer and look up what's going on this page here. And quite often the call is very similar. So yeah, since it's not a public API, I'm just reverse engineering it. I could also ask, but this approach is typically faster. So I'm loading the page, and then we can just check out what's going on. Is it calling spans? It's also possible that it just does server-side rendering and delivers the page. We will see collectives spans. Or we can also just make an educated guess. If we don't find it quickly, we can also make an educated guess. Okay, let me just make an educated guess, because we're seeing like part of the URL here, so we might get happy. So for referendums, we get this call here. Whoops, we get this call here, which is API/gov2/referendums. So we could the first thing we could start here is go for collectives. Okay, we get some kind of result. It's just empty because there is no referendums on this chain. And then we could just try, let's just try this one and see what happens. Not found. Ah, look at this. Look at this. What do we get here? 7 items, and it looks like it's a PageNet call. Total 8 items. Right, so we guess the URL. Sometimes you can do this. And we're gonna do this now. We're gonna check this now. Right. So you see that we're implementing this from 3 different spots. We implement this from fetch referenda, transform, fetch treasury proposals, and fetch child bounties. Fetch treasury proposals is not really in use anymore, and I'm like always unsure if I should remove it or not, or maybe in the future if I'm still gonna use it. So I'm still keeping it around. But for now, let's just like add our code below this one. So to get some clarity about our data source file, what do we have here? Fetch referenda, transform referenda, fetch treasury proposals, and we're not doing anything with that yet, so this is pretty much a dead function. Then fetch child bounties, and then I think some helper functions here. Yeah, there were some helper functions here, and one of them, for example, is fetch list, and then there's also fetch item. And we have this persistence function that is not in use anymore since we're using the cloud recently. So I would say this function here is an internal function, so it should properly be prefixed. And then, so basically what you see is fetch referenda, fetch treasury proposals, fetch child bounties. And it's for fetch child bounties is very simple. It says fetch child bounties. It builds the base URL, which is like this. Then it fetches the list. It persists the data. This is also code that I could remove now. Might be interesting. And then we transform the data, we do some logging, and that's it, right? And so we're gonna do a pretty similar thing now and implement this with fetch and we call this fellowship treasury spends. Fellowship treasury spends. And let's just copy the function signature. I'm gonna just paste this for now. Yeah, and so if you hear a rumbling in the background, that's one of our cats, because we have cats and then we have guest cats, and they are not so happy with each other at the moment. Okay, so this is our API signature. So I'm gonna add this here. Swoosh, and that should be it. That should be it. And then we want to transform it. So transform it, we're gonna add a function here, which is transform fellowship treasury spends. And does it make a guess? Yeah, not sure if I believe this code yet. We're gonna review this, but let's take the suggestion and work with that. And so we want to call our transform function. So this is self transform fellowship treasury spends pound. And I feel like I should remove this persistence code since we're not using it anymore. Yeah, we're not even using it anymore. This was a little bit of a facility to make the queries go faster, but I think I'm just gonna remove this. This is code to good. Okay, I think we have like the base function to do the query, so we can run the query now and see what kind of data we're getting, and then add a breakpoint here and figure this out. And then we also need to add it in our main code. So the question is this code still being used? Because we're sort of, why do we duplicate the code? Why is the transform code not here? I think we're gonna merge this. I think this is when I still used both data providers. I think this was when I still used both data providers. Okay, so sorry, I'm just using this for a cleanup. But what I'm gonna do is I clean this up. So this is not the right function. Because I want to have a sleek main file and not have it messy. So we're adding this code here. Bang. And we have this here. URL. Okay, and I'm gonna do the same for the other ones. So this one gets removed here because there is no transform for the function for the other one. And then for the child bounties, I'm doing the same. Child bounties, fetch child bounties, transform child bounties. This is here, and we're adding yeah, and this needs a little bit of cleanup too. But basically, we're having one place for all the code now to prepare the table. This is more sleek. Okay. Okay, we can, so this is clean now. We can call less code here. Bang. Bang. Okay, this is clean. Okay, and what we want to do now is we want to create treasury spans. It's a little bit representational code, so maybe this is why I didn't want to have it here, but doesn't matter. It's just a small program. Okay. Let's run this. And now we need to embed it in the configuration. So we need to actually run this from here. And so to run this from here, we want to grab it from the config. So we want to have fellowship treasury spans to fetch fellowship treasury spans. And now we add this property into our configuration, and then we should be fine. Bang. Bang. So we make this 0 for now. We are only interested in the fellowship treasury spans. And we can add code to actually do the querying. This looks like good code. Allow empty first row. And now the fellowship, it needs a new column called fellowship. So we need to add this into our spreadsheet. Template. Which one is the right template? Let me look in the code because it's linked there. Spreadsheet ID. So we have a default spreadsheet ID here. And that's what we actually want to see. Whoops. What's going on? Maybe my browser is unhappy with. I ordered new parts for the PC, so I think this this sad phase of like my computer being sad all day should be over soon. Is anything else working? Oh wait, this is maybe not a good idea. Okay, this was working. Okay. Is this working if I reload it? This is working. So there is a problem here. Let me check in a different browser. Okay, this is okay. So the drive itself is working. I'm logging into the right user. This is also working, and the template is also visible. And now here it's opening. Very weird. Anyways, we have it here. Good. Okay, so this is our template file, and here we are adding a new sheet called Fellowship. Okay, and then it should have some columns A, B, C, D, E, F, G, E. Okay, and then we can just run the code, and we're gonna break anyways on when it comes here. So let me just break here, and this is df updates. This should be fine. Bang. And let's run. Okay, while fetching, we received the error 404 not found. Ah yeah, this is true because it's not on Polkadot, it's on the collectives. It's on the collectives URL. But this should be easy to fix. The question is just, is there a collectives chain for Kusama? I think there isn't. Yeah, for Kusama we shouldn't get that. I'm gonna hard code it for now. Good, we fetched the list, so we get some data. Let's look into the data. Okay. There is some data, so let's go into the transformation step and see what we're doing there. The copy, is the copy really necessary? Do we have this on other steps too? No. It's a weird, we're actually doing a copy. Is there a reason we do a copy? Maybe because we grabbed it. I think we are getting this handed, and there was a reason why we do a copy. Okay, let's see. So what we want to grab now is df index. And we have an index, which is okay. Yeah, okay, and we want to set the index to ID because this is our convention, and then we have a state. Okay. Okay, let's pick that state. Let's keep going. Okay, so then the next assumption is that there is an object called on-chain data. And this does not exist at this point. Okay, so we actually want to look at a little bit more closely on what we actually have here. So we get an author. Interesting. We have columns with content. Wait, I need to go to like a specific row first before I look into the data. This is much better. Okay, referendum index 303. Interesting. So it has a referendum index, which means it has some similarity to the like fellowship voting. Title: redo of 292. Let's look at the information we have here. Yeah, okay, title is valid. Title is valid, so we can check. Do we use the title somewhere? Description. Okay, so we can just rename title to description and we should be good. Do we need a bag here? Yeah, we need a bag. Do we need a native? Okay. So the data we are interested in is the native asset. So the price in dot. And then I think for simplicity, we're gonna build a bag, but we can build it in a simplified manner. And then we have proposal time, last status update. Okay. So title, we do have a title. There is a track which is not so we have created it and updated it. Do we use the same thing here? Okay, we use the timeline. We use the timeline property. Is there a timeline property here? This is a different, this is a simplified object from what we are typically encountering when we're looking at objects. You know what? Let's have a look at what we're getting from the API. Maybe this is simpler. Okay, there is an indexer, proposer, created it, updated it, last activity it. Okay, so created it, updated it is not something you can trust. I think this is sort of for the off-chain data. Ref to post. This is new, this is interesting. Ref to post, fellowship referendum. Created it, updated it, 7th of March. Aha. So if we look at this, is there a timeline? Okay, so timeline says 12th of March. It is approved and paid. And it is paid on 12/34. So okay, this doesn't match here. Root post, author, meta. Interesting. What is this? Meta? Gives a location. It gives a location from where the payment comes. I'm not sure. I would actually enjoy if we had more detail. So we might want to do a detail call to fetch the details. Content summary. At least having the dot amount would be great. If we have just that, maybe we want to skip. Yeah, we could like take some simplifying actions like looking at the indexer. This is wrong. So it seems like we don't have sufficient information at the point in time when we're posting this. Oops. Okay, so I will try to fetch the detail like we do it with the referenda. Hey, I see you joining the call. If you have any questions, let me know. What I'm currently doing is querying what the technical fellowship, when they're doing spans, I'm implementing an API call to query the data and put it into our table so that we can use it in our Treasury report. So I'm currently like skimming through the data and looking at what we need to do in our API call to look at this and to get the information, but don't seem to get the dot amount here. So I'm gonna try to find the details. So I will look at how we do this same thing in fetch referenda, which is sort of here / and then referendum index.json. So this might be something like 7.json. Do we get more detail here? Hi, Cheaper. From the spec. Okay, so Cheaper, you're writing, hello, did you remember to subtract unclaimed stablecoins from the spend list? The refs seem executed, but proposers lost the window to claim the funds. Oh, that is super good. Thank you. Thank you. I would have forgotten about that. Oh, yeah. That is bad. Only count claimed. That is bad because I don't have that information at the point in time when the ref passes, and the chain, like the referendum itself doesn't care if the amount gets claimed. So this would, and I guess PokeAssembly is not giving that information, is it? Cheaper, do you have an example for a referendum where this happens? This would be really helpful. Yeah, it will be only a handful of proposals, but we should get them. Talisman's latest proposal. Okay. Let me see. Talisman. Okay, so I see the Talisman proposal, mobile wallet proposal. Cheaper, please confirm if it is this one, but this one is for roughly 600,000. So this translates into a Treasury spend, which is approved. Oh, and then here we have the information if it is paid or not. Yeah. So it's possible that the PBA is having the same situation now. Yeah. Okay, this is interesting because just early in the call, before you joined, I was saying that, you know, I'm reading the Treasury spends, but we have not been using them for a year or so. And I was just discussing to remove the code for that. Because what it would mean is that we need to cross-reference this. And but we need to cross-reference this. Or we do it manually, which is also a possibility. I mean, having it, you know, it would be nice to actually have code for that, because then we could add it to the monitor and we could have a screen with like unclaimed amounts. And we could actually even make like a table with like what's currently proposed. So wait, let me show you what I mean. Why is there so many sheets called monitoring? So right right now everything that is deciding. There were people working on this at the foundation. Okay, watch me. Charts. I don't know. Let me make a new sheet, put it to the side here, and call this projection. And I wanna insert a pivot table that is referencing the referenda, sort of until, doesn't matter, until here. And then we want to insert this at this location. Okay, and then we want to have, I don't know, we want to have, let's say, the numbers and then the titles. And we want to have the, I don't know, the dot value and the USD value. So we want to have the dot value and we want to have the USD last update. Or let's say dot last update, USD last update. This is okay. And then we want to filter and only have the undecided ones. So the status is undecided or deciding. And what is the other one? Confirming. So these are the confirming proposals. And then we have a sum. So this is the amount that is currently proposed and deciding. If you would know statistics, you could even basically compare against the average amount of votes that are typically coming in and then like give a calculate the current probability of it passing times the uncertainty, and then you could make an like even better estimation. But what would be nice is we can give the components. So we can give the dot component, we can give the USDC component, we can give the USDT component. And so we can have a table of all the open asks in USDT, USDC. This is nice. This is nice. And then, you know what? Let's add the I votes and nay votes, just because we're cute. And then what you can do is a ratio, and you can say ayes divided by nays. Or let's say, let's just count the approval. So we count the ayes divided by the ayes plus the nays. And then we represent this as a percentage. And this is the current approval. And then we can color it. So this is like conditional formatting, color scale, with a min value of, no, zero, and yeah, maybe like this. And then we should need like a strength of how many votes we have. Votes, and this would just be this plus this. And then we could color this depending on, I don't know, where we say if it's like 50 million, it's a dot. And we just say max value number, and if it is 50, and then what we color it by is, I don't know, blue. Oh, this is bad. Maybe a light blue. What do you think about this? Okay, this is interesting because this would allow us to make estimates about how much USDC, USDT is currently asked. Okay, I think we should let others know about this. This is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Okay, I call this current asks. I'm gonna remove categories. This is not in use. This is also a little bit sad. The treasury table I think is dead, so I'm gonna remove it. And charts also look very sad. I'm gonna remove this too. Ambassadors is also old, so I'm gonna remove this. Will it update itself? This one here. This one, yeah, this one should update because it is based on the referenda data. So this should update with every update of the monitoring sheet. Pretty nice idea. Thank you. I'm gonna push this to Telegram. This was a really good idea. Cheaper. No, but it's but it was our idea. Okay, I'm gonna quickly tell these people in Telegram. There's so much going on in their group. Anyways, I'm gonna tell this to the group later. It's Fridays anyway. Okay, back to the original question. We should definitely check what is paid out or not. So the question is, how do we do this? Okay, so this means I'm gonna be coding for the rest of the afternoon. I actually wanted to be done with this soonish. But I also need to finish what I was currently working on. And I was actually about to make some progress. I was checking, I don't know, Chipa, if this is interesting to you. I was checking the collective spends because the technical fellowship collective did some spends, as well as small spends, that we didn't count in the previous report. And I'm just getting to the ground of the numbers. but I just realize we see the values already on this screen, so there should actually be something here. 3913. There should actually be in the overview already. 3913. Ah, it is here, amount. But I'm not getting the timeline. I'm not getting the timeline. Or do I? No, I don't think I'm getting the timeline. Do I get the timeline in the details? Status, state, indexer, timeline. Yeah, so I'm gonna query the details. Okay, so what I'm doing is detail items. If we have why? Anyways, I'm just gonna copy this. We're grabbing replacements. I see. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so Fellowship Treasury spends, this should be here. Fetching Fellowship. Anyways, details, this is fine. Detail items. I don't think we need an if condition here. And then it's just the what's the ID? It's the ID. JSON. It's an item. ID. Okay, so I'm grabbing the spend details from the server, and then I'm getting ready to transform the information. So I'm gonna let this run, and then I'm gonna, if this works out quickly soon, let's hope. Row ID. Is it not ID? Row index. It is index. Index, index, index. Okay, so I get the details from the server, and then now we want to match them on. Actually, we don't need to match them. Index ID. Does it have an ID? It does not have an ID. Does it not have an ID? It has an index. Good. Okay. Then I'm happy. Let's let it run. Let's look into the details. Okay. Okay, now we want to have one item again. Whoopsie. What is going on? Def is fine. The index changed. But that doesn't matter for our purpose here. Whoops. Lock. Okay. Now there is an amount. Is there an amount? Give me an amount. Now we have on-chain data. Now we have on-chain data. On-chain data. Okay, Cheaper, I see you're logging off for the day. Yes, we can sync on Monday. Thanks for tuning in. See you Monday. Okay, yeah, I did not guess that we're... Yeah, but okay, so what we're doing now is we're just like going through the details and filling all the columns for the table. So, on-chain data. Do we have an amount? Let's see what we get here. Oops. Okay, so this is what we get from the server when we look at the details of a spend. 393. What was the amount that we see here? 3913. Yeah. And where is it? It's part of the on-chain data. It's part of the on-chain data meta. On-chain data meta. So on-chain data. And then it's meta and it's amount. So it's like meta amount. Okay, this gives us the amount of dot. And then we're building a bag of that. And then the proposal time. Okay, so for that we want to have df log 0 log something 8, and then we want to have on-chain data. We have meta and we have amount. Okay, this works. Now the next thing we want to have is a timeline. Yes, on position 0 indexer. Okay, and this is a block time. Okay, so this is the proposal time. It has event index 0. This is good. And then we want to look at the latest status change. And so we look at the last item. And in Python, we do this with -1. And so this says event index 4. This looks good. And it happened sometime later. It happened sometime later, which is good. So this looks good. We can reuse this code. Okay, and then we want to have the USD at the proposal time. So what we want to have is a column that is called proposal time. So let's check again one row and see if we have a column that is called proposal time. Ah, no, we have a column called proposal time, yeah. And a latest status change, we have that, good. And then we're making the URL. This is very fine, this is very fine. So, and then we don't have a parent bounty ID, we don't need that. We have a status, we have a description, we have dot, we have used the proposal time. We have proposal time, we have latest status change, we have used the latest, and we're happy. This could turn out to be excellent. Good. and then we're going back, we're reporting all the results back, and then we want to sync it into a table called Fellowship. So you know what, I'm gonna let this run for now. I think this could be just running through maybe. Let's see what we're getting. Wait. Treasury spend all. Ah, no, it's not the Treasury spend all. It's the Fellowship Treasury spend URL, and this one is also not set. So we want to have we want to set this in the network info, and this is the self.fellowship treasury spend all, and this is collectives. And then the URL we're going to, so this is the live URL now. And we actually want to go to the detail item here. So this is basically what we're looking for. Whack. Good. And now let's look up the same for book assembly. collectives.polkassembly.io. No, it's not that. Is it? General proposals. Where's the sub-treasury spending? Do I not see it? Okay, I don't see it. Yeah, okay, let's leave Subsquare there. Good. So we're using the correct URL. Let's run it again. Check continuous IDs. This is something we inherited. So let's check if we just index. I guess it's ID now, is it? Okay. TF. Did we get all IDs as sorted list? How do we do this in other parts of the code? Child bounties. You know what? I'm just gonna not do it. Yeah, sometimes I leave a nasty message and then I just give a date so that years later when I return to the issue, I know when and whom to blame for that. Okay, so no time to figure it out right now. Okay, no continuity check. Good. We dropped some data. Let's see what we have. Blank. Nothing. Ah, something. Cool. Jing, jing. Okay, so let's see what we have here. We have an ID. We have a status. We have a title, description. Then we have dot. Then we have UST. Yeah, this looks good. Huh? Ah, the ID doesn't look correct. The ID does not look correct. We're not renumbering the ID correctly. So it's something we can fix. Set index by ID. Do we not have this like this? DF. Okay, here the IDs are okay, so maybe are we returning it? We are returning it. So what? Wait, but here the data frame is still correct. Is it maybe already the wrong URL? It's already the wrong URL that we're writing out. Is it the right function? It's not the right function. Treasury proposals, fellowship. So URL hyperlink from X index to series. No, I see. No, this cannot be right. No, we should just say ID. Apply. Apply. And the same is valid for the other functions. So I introduced an error likely. ID. This happens when you are rushing your code. ID. So, okay, let's try this again. Okay, I guess we will have a beautiful template now that is updated and shows us, yes, okay. So I'm gonna delete all the data and we're gonna run it again. And I believe what we will get is this is USD propose time. And then what is this? This is a date. So this is likely proposed date. And then this is latest update. And then this is, what is this? USD latest. This is USD latest, okay? Yeah, we can work with that. Okay. So then let's just format this, and then we have this step basically done. Format. This is a dot amount. This is a USD amount. This is the date, so we want to have this format. And then USD latest. Oops. USD latest. No, where's my... Here. Okay. These are never... Okay, they are different. Good. So this looks good. So I'm gonna check this. So let's do visual comparison if the data match. Yeah, this looks good. Okay, I'm gonna commit this. Good change. So what we're having here is, and since this is a production commit, I'm gonna do something like okay, so we can commit the config. We deleted this implementation. We're updating the network info. To do isn't getting committed. Subsquare is getting committed, and main is getting committed. And so what we do is now is grab collective spans, and this is very good. Okay, so before we fix the other issue, I would like to not only commit this, but actually push it. So git push origin main, and we push it to production also. No? Is it pushed? Git push origin production. Git checkout production. Git merge main. Git push origin production. Git merge main. No. Where is my main? Git push origin main. Git checkout main. What is going on? What? Oh. What just happened? What just happened? What did I just do? No, what is it? Where is my commit gone? Is this a freeway merge? No. Where is my change? Maybe I'm gonna end the call here or not. Okay, just let me quickly fix this. Is this everything we want to change here? Okay, my change from previously is gone. Git push original main, done. Nothing. You're leaving 3 commits behind. Not connected to any of your branches. Ah, okay. No. Okay. I don't know. It looks like I was detached. Okay, here it is. Now I wanna. This should be git. Okay, how can I flag this as, or how can I flag the current commit as main? Git branch. Can I just go into step 2? Main. Git checkout. Help. Rescue. Okay. Git branch. Did not match. Yes, so git branch. Git branch. Git branch. Okay, this is how you, I guess, fix a git branch checkout. Git branch main. Git branch. I see. I'm just confused. So I want to copy this. Help me. Okay. Okay, whatever. Don't save. Close out. Okay. So we push. Okay, now we can push this to production. Git checkout production. Git reset hard. Git push origin production. Okay, pushing this to production. So this should yield the result later on our main file, and then we can look there. And in the meantime, we can fix this other. So we wanna, okay, we are capturing Fellowship spends now, but then what we want to do is now capture if accepted refs spends got actually consumed. So okay, can I flag this part of the video? No. Okay, so what we actually want to do now is there is this situation where Treasury spends can be granted to recipients, but they have to claim them. So recipients basically receive a voucher on USDT or USDC or DOT, and then they have to claim it from the Treasury. But the Treasury can be in a situation where it doesn't actually have the tokens that it prints a voucher for, and then the claimant cannot claim it. So that means when we have the income sheet, we should actually flag if a recipient successfully grabbed the grant. And this is relevant especially for the spend. For the spend. This is only relevant for the spend extrinsic, because only the spend extrinsic is actually giving out a voucher. Everything else is an immediate payout. So the way to think about this is that you extend the data model. Let me show you. So right now in our data model, basically there's the dot, there's the dot, and then there is the current stage, and that's it, right? And then we assume that this is paid out, but this is not always the case. So actually what we want to have is an additional flag, for example, that says spent, as an example. And it gives you an X when something is actually spent, and then it's empty if it is not spent. Or I don't know, you can say yes and no, or true and false, maybe, because this is I think this is, yeah. So these are the Google spreadsheet data types of true and false. So we should actually print out true and false in such a case. Okay, so what we want to do that is to actually, you know, earlier in this call I said Treasury spends is a feature that we have not been using for some time, and so we might want to remove it. But we're not going to remove it because we need that raw data and actually display it. So what we are going to do now is we're just, you know, I'm activating the feature, and I'm going to see if it is even working. But let's just, let's only grab the last 100 ones, and here's 0, and here's 0, and here's 0. False. Okay, and then I just wanna run the program and see what happens. But most likely it's gonna crash because I'm not having configured the file correctly. Transform referenda. Transform referenda. Odd. Did we change this? So this should break in production now. I should stop breaking stuff in production. I should stop breaking stuff in production. Okay, so we get df updates and we're telling it to do the continuity check on an ID field. Treasury proposals. On the index field. Okay. This must have been an oversight, so I did not check something properly. It has underscore ID. Interesting. Underscore ID looks like I might have in. What is happening? Oh yeah, fetch treasury proposals. Okay. Yeah, we're not transforming this, so this code hasn't been touched in a while. So I'm gonna add code that says transform treasury proposals. And we are gonna repeat the same thing we did before, just checking that we grab all the it's not treasury proposals, it's treasury spends. It's treasury spends. Yeah, but this is fellowship. We can close this one. But there is actually treasury spends. Yeah, treasury spends. Good. And then we want to call this code here. So we are asking if updates equals self? No. Yeah, self. Transform treasury proposals. Df updates. And we're going to rename the function. Okay, so let's jump in and see what kind of data we're getting on this API call. Okay, so what we should get is something that looks like this here. So okay, we're getting something. Looks okay. Yeah. So we get a title. We get an index. We get an indexer. Do we get an index? We don't. Maybe we need to grab the, and we also don't have a status. We have a state and we have a status, but we have an ID. Maybe the ID is the thing that makes us happy. So this is ID. No, this is not what we're looking for. But we have it here, so it should be somewhere here. What we can do is we can just look at the URL that we were grabbing before. Open and check out how this looks like in the browser. And not in Brave. I'll Firefox because this gives us a nice formatting here. Okay, so we're getting treasury spends, and we have a proposal index. The proposal index is not what we want, is it? Because we are going to 129 here. That's a low number. Treasury spent 129. Aha. So what is treasury proposals? Okay, I have a fear, and my fear is that this is like even another data type or table now. Yeah, because there's treasury proposals. And this is the old thing. This is the old thing. I see. This is the old thing. And then there is a new thing. It's treasury spends. Oof. Okay. So the old thing is gone, and this is a completely new thing. Okay. And so this is treasury spends. How old is this? I guess this was introduced with COV2. Test the brand new. This I used it for the first time. I should actually know this. Okay, so this is very good, very, very good. This is just okay. I was worried that these treasury spends is a mix-up with some kind of old data model that was used in the past, but it is not. This seems like it's like really, really just treasury spends. Very good. Okay. This makes me very happy because this means we can grab something that is completely novel and new, and we just use it for this case. And this is treasury spends. And I was already confused by the nomenclature. Okay, so we're asking for treasury spends, and that means that this is the wrong thing. We want to have treasury spends. Okay, and we're looking at a treasury spend, and it has an index. It has an index. It has an index. It doesn't have an index. Because we grabbed the wrong thing. We grabbed the wrong thing, and if we let it run one more time now, we will get the right thing. Good. It's a lot of, okay. Good. Give me the index. Yes. Lovely. So give me the state. Give me the title. Awesome. Okay. Give me, you don't have on-chain data, do you? Do we need it? You know what? Just show me what you have. Okay, so what we're interested in is, I mean, okay, let's see. Content summary, ref to post, root post, auto, meta. Meta looks like it is interesting. There is an amount, there is an asset kind. The asset kind is asset hub USD TRC, and it has an amount. Okay, now the more interesting thing is there is mixed bags where we look into multiple things. And this is where it gets interesting, because this is just dot and USDC and dot, but I know there has been mixed proposals where multiple things have been requested. I'm not sure if those ever were successful, but at least they have been requested. If it's just like one type, okay, so maybe we did not have this so far. I mean, I'm fine if it is not too complex, I guess. So what do we have in the meta? We have like an amount and we have an asset kind that we want to get, and then we valid from and expired. Interesting. Okay, I guess we don't need to grab the details yet with an indexer. We have a timeline. We have a timeline. Good. So we don't need to grab details. Okay, so this is mostly known territory for me. It's just structured in a slightly different way, and then a little bit of new territory when we actually have to look at is it claimed or not. And so first step is to query all the data, and then the second step is we have to cross-reference it with the referenda to indicate the status and say if it is claimed or not. So it's not a completely new thing, and it gets configured a little bit differently, but it should be fine. This should be fine. Okay, so we are interested in the not necessarily okay. So, okay, the first thing we want to see is what is the, let's say, components that are being claimed. So it has more similarity to actually what we have here. Yeah, it has more similarity to what we have here. So I'm gonna add these columns where we show the native asset name. Does this exist? Native asset. There is no native asset name. Ah. I mean, bum, bum, bum. I see. Okay, then I'm gonna take this. Okay, do the same here. It's just a simplification to make the lines easier to read. And then we have this here. And we have dot latest. We use the latest, and then with dot component, use the C component, use the T component. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we're not looking at on-chain data, and we want to have the dot amount initially. The question is, there is not gonna be a dot amount always, but rather in the meta information. Oop, do we? Ah, no, we're looking at the wrong thing. So there is a meta. Is there anything else that is relevant for us? Content, no. Content summary, no, we're just interested in the meta object. And so the meta object gives us an asset kind, and from the asset kind we should determine the rest. So we should actually build the bag first before we do anything else. And I'm a little bit surprised, even like, what do we do in the treasury? Yeah, we build the bag first before we do dot proposal time dot latest. Yeah, we build the bag first before we do anything else. And it's even that these functions that I've built here have to move out a little bit. So for fetch referenda, I have built like these, for transform referenda, I have built these helper functions to sort of extract from the XCM multi-location and so on from these native XCM data types. Get latest status change. It's not even used anymore. Bag, yeah, even bag. No, bag doesn't have to go. No, bag doesn't have to go. But these, I want to reuse these because they are actually being used. So I'm gonna move them out. They go to the bottom of the file. Okay, and since we're making them functions of the class now, they have a self pointer. Okay, they don't raise an error, but of course we'll get the errors where we are using them. And so this is now self dot and self dot self dot. Okay, and then I just want to double check by just doing a string search in the file. But this is the only two instances where we use them, and then okay, this is very humane. Okay, good. So now we can reuse them in other parts of the class. And I'm gonna use them now when we build a bag. So the way we build a bag is we will like have another local function. So transform treasury spans, yes. And this will be similar to this here, bag from data. But bag from data will be, yeah, will be similar. Okay. Maybe I just, for referendum data, just so we can have a little bit of diversity when we call this differently and we don't like mistakenly call the same thing. And okay, so first thing we do is for each row we build a bag. And the bag treasury spent data. And this is inline defined. Whatever. I'm gonna make a breakpoint here and not even think about it too much. What's your problem here? Expecting indented block? Ah, okay, whatever. Don't care about this. Placement start defined. Whoa. Weird. Okay, I'm gonna run this. I placed the let's see if it breaks. Let's see if it breaks or if my breakpoint hits. Okay, yes, we want to have to rename, and then we build a bag. And we landed a function to build a bag, and so this goes through every row, and for every row we can look at the contents of that row and build a bag from that. And so the row should have a meta. Yeah. And then the first thing we do is, because this seems to be built pretty trivial for now, and I'm pretty sure it's going to change in the future, the first time some proposer comes and requests a mix of USDT and USDC and DOT. But for now, it's built fairly simple. So what we're going to do is we look at the asset kind. Yeah, and from the asset kind, so we have a function where we can look at the asset kind, and what does it get? It gets a, it gets an asset kind. Okay, so, then let's just say, let's just build an asset kind. I don't know. What do we get returned? What do we get returned from asset kind? An instance of type asset kind. So, which means I can say I have an asset kind, and what I give here is this here, and then then we can actually differentiate by what we are getting. So we don't have switch in Python. Okay, if we get invalid, we set the bag to none and return it. And then in all other cases, if it's the native asset, it's not gonna be in, okay, let's say it's dot, or let's just look at what we have right now. So right now we look at row meta, and we get amount. Yeah, so what we do is, I guess we always get the amount. So let's get the amount, and it is no meta amount. Okay, so we have the amount, and then we just add that to the bag. Yeah, okay, and I think this will be the case for everything else. Yeah, so then we can just assume that we apply the denomination of whatever asset we're having, and then we can return that. Bag. With the only thing that it implies is that this function always knows what to do when it gets a denomination. So this is something that we have to check. What do we have here? Okay, so what do we have? We have an asset kind of USDT. What does our row say? So this is 128. 128. And 128 has 1.5 million USDT. So what do we have here? 1.5, and then USDT has 8. No, USDT has 6 decimals. So okay, now we have full dollars, and then it's $1.5 million. Okay, so we get the right amount. We set it. Now, the one thing I want to make sure is that apply denomination knows what it does. Yeah, and there is a raise exception if it doesn't. So we are fine. If asset kind is none. Self digits. That is not right. If it is none, there should be an exception. I hope. We should be more explicit when we set this. You see? I guess we made a mistake in the past and did not set the asset kind and just assumed if it is not set, it's the like native asset of the network. Yeah. But this is not something we want to have. We want to have like dot always. So apply denomination should never be undefined. It should actually never be none. This is not legal. It cannot be none. And then let's just give it the native asset of the network. So self.network info.native asset. Where do I get the native asset? Asset kind. Give me asset kind. No. Network info. Yeah, I think this is better. This should avoid maybe a few problems. Okay, apply denomination. Okay, here we have an asset. 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 We have an asset. We have an asset. Here we don't. And it's the native asset of the network, so we can just say self. Yeah, much better. Oops, this was not the search function. Okay, I think we got. Oh, there's another one. Okay, and good. Okay, we got them all. Okay. Network info has no attribute native asset. Does it not? It should have. It should have. native asset. Whoops. Okay. Okay, good. So we're here. We are getting a bag. And now we can fill our properties. Now the native asset dot at propose time Okay, let's see how we do this here. We call this native asset at proposal time, native asset latest, USD proposal time, USD latest, da 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 da. I would just like do it exactly the same. The only thing is, like, we have columns for proposal time and latest status change that we just need to make sure we also have here before we do anything else. And then after we have that, we can just skip all of that. We have bag. We can delete all of that. And just make sure we have a status, but I guess we will have. So the only thing we want to make sure here is, and then we can copy paste the remainder. Everything from here till here. Okay, I want to see the proposal time and the latest status change, and I know it was in a meta object. So what I'm going to look at is row location 0, I guess. No. Row at some location. No. df at some location. Yeah. df at some location. And then I want to look at the meta. No, I want to look at the timeline. So I want to look at the timeline in the meta object without any syntax errors. No. I want to look in the browser how it looked like. Meta. I had a timeline. Meta status? No. It was here. Did I look in the wrong object? No, my friend. Did I look in the wrong tab previously? Okay, we have an index with content, with meta. Oh no. Okay, so maybe we have to load the details. Okay, I think we have to load the details. We have to load details. I mean, we don't actually need all the USD values. We get this from the, we don't need to grab it here. And so we don't need the data. We actually just need the status. We just need the status. All of this was for nothing. We just need the status. And not only the status, we also want the referendum index. But we have, this is the referendum index, so we already have the referendum index. You can just grab it here. We can actually handle this very differently here because we don't need to grab the full object. I mean, while we're at it, we could actually, oh no. We should, because it can be split into, let's not delete all of this, because it can be split into multiple objects. So let's just get some clear data, and we just don't need to use it all. But we don't have the timeline, and I guess we will get it when we look at the detail page. So if we ever look at, for example, 128.json, we will get a detailed object, and we will have a on-chain data, and we will have a timeline. Good. So it behaves like all the other stuff. So in a similar manner, we will add the code here to load the details. Yes. 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 And then we transform it. Okay. So if we do this now, we will have all the details we need. And so this will likely give us similar data as we wanted here. I'm adding a breakpoint. Good. Okay, let's just check if we get the data that we want. So we want to, but give me location 0. Give me ilog 0. Okay, and then no columns. Okay, do I have a proposal time? I will not, because this is not how this works. So we will look at the meta. And then we will find a timeline there. We will look at the meta. We will look at the on-chain data. And then there is a meta. And then there is a timeline. There is no timeline. The timeline is on the on-chain data. Okay. But where did you get this? Transform Fellowship Treasury spends. How did you do it here? We got a proposal. Yeah, and we fetched it from the time. Yeah, this is what we want. This is very clean. So I'm fetching Treasury spends. I'm transforming Treasury spends. And I'm grabbing everything from the on-chain data. Timeline. And then I'm building my bag. But it's gonna be the on-chain data now. Maybe This is all we need. And then one thing we're gonna be interested in is the referendum index. Yes. Okay, let's go. Okay, so did we not break? Good, we get a proposal time. Let's just run through it and see if we break. We want to build a... Okay, we only break because we did not update one property here. So when we get the asset, when we build the bag, this could be our chance to get this right. Yeah, and we recently introduced this warning that I keep seeing. Okay, network info. Network info has no attribute Treasury proposal URL. Does it not? No, because it has a Treasury spend URL. But the Treasury spend URL is gonna point here. No, it's not gonna point here. It's gonna point here. And this is self.treasury spend URL. No, not federal. Treasury spend URL. And then Treasury spend clean. So Polka assembly. Do we not get this screen? 1497. Okay, there is no screen for... Okay, there's no screen for this. Good, so we're just gonna link to Subsquare. It's pretty tough because Polka assembly doesn't support these features. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna rerun this, and then we should be running through at least this method, and then we can check the other ones. And then I think we have to update the main, because so this is now Treasury spend, or is it Treasury spends, or it's Treasury spends URL, Treasury spends URL, and we're gonna take it here too. Let's let this run, and then it's Treasury spends here too. Spends, and in the main we also have to do a little bit of updating. So here it's Treasury. Did I skip this too early? I skipped this too early. Okay, I skipped this too early. I'm gonna let it run to run into the same issue again, and then okay, what is this? Key error, not in index dot. What is happening? Dot, oh. Okay, I'm getting a little bit hungry, but I want to finish this today. I don't want to mess with this next week. So I'm gonna grab 2 fruits. And then we have the table. So the next thing we want to do, then the index. This is very correct because it's not dot, it's dot proposal time. We want to have. Yeah. Okay, so we're about to finish that. We get this one table, and it allows us to check the status of was this amount paid out or not. So the question then is, when we have once we have the raw data in our system, how do we cross-reference it? And I'm of the opinion that we actually should do this in the spreadsheet and not in the code. Why? Because it's also relevant to just see the raw data in the spreadsheet, and so we can also do the further processing in the spreadsheet, I believe. Okay, we got this error before. This was trivial. It was trivial, and it was just index? What was it? How did we solve this error before? At one point I just removed it. And I think at one point I asked for ID. Referenda. Here I just skipped it. Okay, let's see what we have here. Stupid, I keep forgetting. Yeah. What do we actually want to check here? We want to check for continuous IDs. Nah, let's not do that. It's more like a debug feature I currently have running to like figure out the long running issue. So I'm gonna let this run. Okay. So I would just say put it in the table and then figure the rest out in the spreadsheet by when we do the data aggregation, as I'd say. But we need to flag it. So we need to add a flag when it's a spend proposal, so that in the Google spreadsheet we know that we have to treat it in a different way. Yeah, this is where the processing gets a little bit more complex. Ah, okay. Now it is looking for the Treasury column. It's finding an empty row. Which is sort of a security feature to make sure we throw an error if something is off and we cannot know what it is. Like, for example, you give the wrong spreadsheet. It rather crashes and confuses you than like messing something up that we don't want messed up. Hi, Hero. Hey. Yeah. No worries. Thank you for saying hi. Yeah, I just do the live stream because it pushes me to work in a more focused manner. And I'm also considering maybe in the future, like either someone wants to recreate the thing or we're just training an AI to do the same thing. And yeah, so this is just me rambling and getting work done because I'm more focused. Treasury. What is -1? Empty for not data. Land data is 1. Land data. I mean, this should be okay. No? Ah, it's okay. It can be okay. I think this is my quick hack to trick the system into believing everything is alright. Why are you doing this? This is not sure how this should work. No? Okay, now it should work. This is odd. Wow. Are we getting old errors now? Get data frame stats. Get data frame stats should not run on this one. Should it? I mean, why not? Boolean value of NA is ambiguous. I see. Okay, let me hack this one more time. It's very sus. I mean, it's even working. Is it not? Like, you're even writing data, are you not? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna just read the code before I change it and realize I could just add this piece here and maybe everything would be alright and I wouldn't have to like do stupid things here. Let's try this out. Okay. Okay, I hope this works because I need like a really short break. But given, let's assume that this will work now. I mean, we're gonna see it in a second anyways. I think I need a little bit more patience. Yes, okay, it worked. So what do we have? We have something, looks good. Okay, good. So this is the ID, then this is the ref, this is the state, this is the description. I guess this is the dot at propose time. This is the USD at propose time. This is the propose date. This is the latest update. This is a USD latest update. This is the dot component. This is the USD something. USD C and then USDT. USDC component. Whoops. And then USDT component. This is empty and the table is sorted like this. Okay, then we need formatting. So the columns that are dot are these columns and we're formatting them as dot. And then we have USD columns, which are these and these. And we're formatting them as USD. We have two date columns, which are these ones. And they are date. And then we have a USDC column. And we have a USDT column. Well, this is not a date. Ah, this shouldn't be a date. Yeah, looks good. Okay, so what we have here is an example of how there is multiple payouts on an asset type, which also sort of clears up all my questions here. So they requested USDT, USDT, and USDT, and all three of them got approved from the same ref, and they are paid out at different times. So we have the raw data here. Excellent. Let me check if, okay, so now what I'm going to do is, because this looks fine now, so I'm going to do a final check to see if, let's say, all the queries work out correctly. And if they do, we can commit the code, let it run on the server. Okay, so config, bam, 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 Fellowship Treasury spent. If everything works fine, this is gonna take a second now. If everything works fine, we can commit this, let it run on the server, and then we have all the data that we need in the spreadsheet. And then we can keep on processing the data there and match it. We need to do one more thing. We need to flag the rows in the referenda that have local spends. We could also, or we could do the matching. We could do the matching because we just have the data anyway. Yeah, we're gonna figure this out in a second. Okay, see you in a minute. Okay. Back. I'm back. So, brought some fruits. Ready for the next part of the session. So this is the part where I'm gonna eat fruits. I would say we just look at the data we get and we make some connections here and we figure out if we need to connect it in code, if we need to make a marker in code or not. I guess no. It's gonna take some time. Okay, so what we know here is a ref ID. Okay, so we can get the ref ID here. And we want to cross-reference here. And what we're going to do later on is with this aggregated sheet where we have the aggregated spans. Here, so at the latest point here, we want to have the actual spans. Here we can be more flexible because this is sort of the request. It's the total request. Is the total request. So we could have sort of an intermediary thing where the aggregated pivots looks to. It would be good to have a flag. Should we have a flag? I think life gets easier when you have a flag. Okay, I think life gets easier when you have a flag. So what I'm gonna do is in the referenda sheet here, just on the right side before the categories, I'm gonna add a flag that says spend. I don't know. Spend voucher. Treasury spend. Treasury spend. Spend. Let's call it a spend. Fetching a child bounty without the URL. My friend, what are you doing? Yeah, this is why are we fetching the details for child bounties? And then what? And then transform. What is going on? I added the code at the wrong place. How can this even work? Odd things are happening. What did I do? What is going on? Fellowship Treasury spends. Did I remove code? I think I removed code. Okay, let's see if this works. Yeah, so while we let this run, actually I would like to have this finished before I start like building something extra. Let's start. We can look at the code first. So fetch treasury spends. Transform. So we're transforming treasury spends. There's also code missing here, no? Is it? No, it's not. It's not. We don't want to look at treasury spends, we want to look at referenda. And when we look at referenda, what we want to have here at the end is a flag. And it's gonna say spend flag. how do we determine that spend flag? Right, so this is where the two requests actually start interlocking. So only when we have all the referenda and all the spends, then we could add a flag to the refs. Okay, so we're not doing this here then. Question is, should we yeah, I think we gave the wrong URL. This is not an API code. It's not an API call. API. Yeah. It's better. Okay, so we're fetching the referenda, we're fetching the Treasury proposal. Now, after we fetch the Treasury proposals, this is the point in time where we have enough information to actually show it. Maybe that's not right code. We don't need code at this point in time. We can just query it here. So what we want to look is, we want to have like a vertical lookup in of the search key. Okay, first of all, we want to have a vertical lookup. Okay, can you tell me what is this? Okay, can you give me the left few characters of this? Left 5 characters of this? Okay, let's try it out. We want to have a vertical lookup with this search key on the range of this, because we just need the ref, and the index is 2, and is it sorted? No. Okay, and so this should hit on some items. It should hit on 1497. So let's put it down to 1497. See if we get a hit. We should have a hit here, but we don't. Did not find value 1497 in Treasury evaluation. Okay, maybe it's column 1, but I think it starts counting at 0. Okay. So did not find value 1497 in VLOOKUP. 1497. Is it a string? No, it's a number. So find value. This is very sus. Okay, let me try something and let me put in 1497 here. 1497. No? Okay. Okay, let's make it more simple. Let me do the VLOOKUP here. VLOOKUP. Search for the key 1497 in the range this, and the key. Oh, you know what? Just in the range BB. Just in the range BB. And the index is 1 and sorted false. Yeah, so this delivers a result. Okay, now let's fine tune this. We want to find A, B, column B. Ah, now this is not returning a result. This is odd. Why? But it's also not 1. It's not 2. Hey. Maybe it needs to be something like this. Free. Is there AI to help me? Why is the formula at D2 giving what is wrong with the formula? First time I'm using Gemini in a while. Why is it changing? Yeah, so in B2 there is the actual value. This should hit positive. It's hiding the text. Why is it hiding the text? Okay, not usable. Gemini again is not usable. Okay, let's simplify this again, and then just look up the. So if it is, let's look up A. Let's look up A2. A2. Does not look up A, but it looks up. So it looks up. This also does not work. I don't know. I guess it has to do that there. I guess maybe when there is a link involved. When there is a link involved, everything gets messed up. No, it just it just stopped working. I cannot even delete it. I cannot even delete it. This makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense when you cannot delete the formula. Okay, when it only covers one column, it's fine. Yeah, when it covers two columns, then it's also fine, except when it's 2. Maybe like this. Ah. Cool, I guess. And when we have it like this, that's working. So, wait. Ah, this is the result you want to give. Okay, so it needs to be in the first. It needs to be in the first column. The query is the key has to be in the first column. So what we can do is we can say we want to have B, and then if it gives a result, and now this should be okay. Yes. Okay, we're getting a hit. Okay, and now we can ask if now. Is not. Okay, so we can say. Okay, so we can say not is not. Right. And now everything is a voucher. Yep. Yeah, why not? I think this works. Yeah, I would say this works. So our program also ran through and we have everything as we needed. So we can commit this code. This code is actually working. So we're gonna commit this. Also main data provider network info Subsquare. And what we did is query Treasury spends. So, accidentally pushing it to production, but it's okay. Git push origin production, and we have to git checkout main, git merge production. Good, and git push origin main. Good. Okay. Now, what we can do is we can run it one more time. It's possible that it fails now on this screen. Quite possible. So we wanna actually have. Do we wanna? Yeah, we wanna. We wanna have a treasury screen and a fellowship screen. Fellowship. And then we want to have the template from the treasury. And we want to apply the template from the fellowship. And what we get now is that on the next full hour we would get a result, but I'm just gonna trigger it via the cloud to run now. And then I guess let me check on GitHub if it already has deployed, because I have a continuous deployment running, and every time I push to the production branch, we get a deployment. Ah, is it running unit tests first? Nah. Ah, cool. It knows on GitHub that there is actually a build running. Not bad. Okay. Let's just wait and see. I guess we will know. Okay. So our experiment here is working, so we're just gonna do it like this. We will know that this is a voucher. So first thing I'm doing is I'm copying this and pushing it here. Okay, we have a cloud deployment live, succeeded, right? So then jobs. Is it not cloud run? Ah, I'm in the wrong instance. Yeah. Scheduler. By the way, if you want to run this application, check the README. Force run now. Okay. If you want to deploy this in the cloud, you can check the README here. It gives you the instructions. So I'm using this exact procedure. Okay, so query is running right now. We should see it in a second. And then what we can have here, no, not this. Bang. What we should get here is, this doesn't automatically update like with new rows, but we can manually pull this. Okay, I guess this will run. Yeah, let's just see if data starts popping up here. If not, I'm gonna check the log. Okay. So now what we can do is, as soon as we have this, what we can do is we can aggregate data. So we would have a sheet treasury pivot that pivots some data. And so what I would do is I would take the data that we have in treasury and I would create a new pivot table here. And what it does is it gives you a row of refs, and then it gives you, let's say, the paid amounts. Let's do the paid amounts. So what we can do is dot component, USDC component, USDT component, and we filter it by the state, and we only want to have states that are paid. What is processed? What is processed? Okay, let's look at what is processed. Paid. processed. Bad gateway. Did I give the wrong URL? Treasury spends? Is it not right? There's a Polkadot URL. There's a Polkadot. Oops. Whoopsie. Whoopsie. I guess it's Subsquare. Yes. Okay, processed. What is processed? Approving, paid, processed. What does processed mean? So I guess it's paid or processed. What is can it also be not like can it also be not be paid and processed? I mean, it can also like go invalid, but maybe we haven't had that state yet. Ah, look, we have the data now. Okay, and this is the live sheet. Okay, so I'm gonna push that fix. Fix URL, bang. Okay, git push origin main, git checkout production, git merge main, git push origin production, git checkout main. Good. Okay, we should be pushing this to production now. We have the live data, and in the referenda, give me, come on. That was a true value here. And we're starting to see more and more true values. Fantastic. Good. Let's flag the vouchers visually. Wow, what is happening? Our coloring is, why is our coloring gone actually? Our formatting is also gone. Ah, no, some formatting is still here. No, it's all good. It's all good. Okay, I'm gonna color this, and I'm gonna format this by saying, no, it's not alternating colors. It's like conditional formatting. And I'm adding a rule here that if it is true, then it's gonna be green. Let's make it blue. Let's make it yellow. Let's make it yellow. Just not green or red. Okay, so if it is a voucher, this is gonna be colored. And then we can have then let's make a table. And that is a Treasury pivot. And that is, I mean, we just did this in a template, but we're gonna reenact this here now in the monitoring. And then over there, because I think this is very practical. So let me insert a new pivot. And we're looking for the Treasury. And we're gonna take everything. And we're going to apply it to our new Treasury pivot here. And And we're gonna go for the rev, and we're gonna go for all the good components. And we're filtering by the state. And I suppose we're gonna go for paid or processed. That's what is actually paid. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, and so what we also can have is like a true outstanding. We can have what is outstanding. Maybe let me take these and put them to current asks. Okay, and so what we have is paid, and what we have is approved. Okay, and then we can take these and we can say we want to have just the approved ones. Yeah. And maybe we move them over here. Do we move them left or right? Let's move everything like this. Yeah. Do we have enough space? Yes. Barely, but yes. Okay. And then I guess we want to have a few columns here. And paid, approved. And this is voting. Okay, so this is what we're voting on. Nice. Okay, so these are our USDT components. Format number, USDT. These are our USDC components. And then these are our dot components. Custom number format. And we could even have included the date. Yeah, we're gonna do this in the future. Doesn't need to be now, but it's really good. Okay, so you know what? Let's just look it up now because we're at it right now. It would be easiest to edit right now. So I'm going in the transform code and I want to see this. I want to see this information. Because if we can run this now, 0, 0, 0. If we can run this now and we can grab that information, we can make a whole timeline of what is open. Are we not running? We are running now. We're not breaking. Treasury spends. I have my breakpoint on the wrong thing. This is where I wanna be. Okay, so I saw some interesting data previously, so let's see if I can find this again. Okay, so there was the dates when it's gonna be due. Indexer content. Content summary. That valid from expired. These are nice. These are nice. So this is on-chain data meta, valid from expired. 8 aufhören. 9. 9. Cats. Okay. So valid from expired. Hey, welcome. So valid from our spend is valid from this state. On-chain data. Sag mal, was machst du da? Expire at. Okay, I think this is really good because, yes, if that works, we get like a full date of when we can expect more spends in the future. Whoop. Yeah, okay, fair. Template, Treasury, valid from expire at. Okay, try again, my friend. Object of type int64 is not JSON serializable. Why? This I see. We have code that prepares the serialization and it does not include I think the cats are a little bit bored because it's been raining today. They've been locked in, or they didn't want to go out the whole day. So, looks good. What do we get? We get dates. What kind of dates do we get here? This is block. This is a block height. Ah, this is a block height. I don't want to do block height calculation. We can just, I mean, I guess Polkadot is going to be fairly stable, so maybe we can hard code it somewhere. Maybe. Why not? Let's do that. Let's do that. But that would require... we're too deep now. We're too deep now. We're too deep now. So... I guess the dates are the what are Excel dates? No, how do we perform the calculation to Excel dates? Transform dates. Okay. What is a good date format to give to read for a date object? EMF date. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, but in a date time. Okay, date time. Okay, because then I'm just gonna look this up now. Polkadot.subscan.io. Polkadot.subscan.io. And I'm just taking the latest block. Bang. So we want to take this block number here, and it's the block date time is 2025 5 T 15 26 36. Okay, this is okay. Good. And then block time projection. And you know, for Treasury spends, we're just gonna attach it as a parameter. We're just gonna attach it as two parameters. So we're just gonna take this from the config and say block number, block projection, block number, what's it? Block time projection. Block time projection. Block number, and then block date time. Yeah. And this is a date time, so okay, and as soon as we load the Treasury spans, we give a block number and we give a block date time. And then we do the calculation here. Okay, with date time. Treasury spans. Yeah. Okay, so we want a function that is called estimate block date time from block number. And what we do get here is block number, non-block date time. Okay, and then what we do get here is and we pass this on. Okay, and so this function here okay. We should configure the block time. Okay, let's see if it guesses it. I'm just gonna make assertions. Assert. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna assume reference block number is smaller than block number. Okay, and now we can say the block estimated block date time is the reference block time plus the block number minus the reference block number times the block time. Yes, and then we return that. Okay, really good. And this is a okay, this is a block number, this is an int, this is a date time. So does this work like date time? What's our data type? Okay, and this is a float. This is an int. Okay. So we get an int. Okay, now is like, do you still think the same is true? Does this work, assuming that reference block date time is a date time? Yeah, I was assuming that. Copy. Data. Okay, so what we can get is a true date time now. But we need to estimate block date time from block number. Swag, close, open. Okay. Cute. This might work really well. Okay, let's see. Let's try that. Must be string. And what is it? Date time. Wow, it's reading at date time. Wow. Cool. Hey, welcome to the stream. What we're doing right now is we're estimating future spends for the Treasury given all the agreed proposals that we have. Reference block number is not less than block number. So actually that's not a problem. Yeah, if you have questions, just drop them in the chat and we'll go through them. Good. Ooh, but nothing here. What was going on? Template is true. Hey, cheaper. Giga transparency. Yeah, I don't know. Not sure if this is actually interesting for someone. I think it's mostly interesting for the AI that we can train on this material later on. Okay, let's see if I'm happy here. How are you doing, Chipa? I want to be done with this. Oh, by the way, I can update you. Give me a second just to think through this, and then I show you. Like I can show you what I have. Like I've been working on the stuff we talked before. Just let me see if I'm happy here. df location 0 index location 0. Yeah, I'm happy here. So why am I not happy a little bit later? Nope, go away. Load sheet data, we don't care about this. No. What? Wow, what's going on? Huh? Expected 15 columns. This is getting out of hand. Okay, let me show you while this runs. So, okay, now what we do have in the monitor, I'm gonna make something nice here, but basically we have a table of all the paid referenda with their components. So when it was a split, when it was like Treasury dot spent, so we have it split. So this is everything that is paid in the past. This is the one that is the least interesting. Then we have the current ones approved but not paid. So for example, we see that there is like 3.2 million USDT approved but not spent. And this is USDC and this is DOT, right? So there's 600,000 DOT approved but not spent. It's easy to forget, but this is a few million. And then there's the ones that are currently voting. This is what we saw before. Okay. Update worksheet. Okay, we have a date at this point in time. We go into this magical function and we need this here. And I think then we're fine. Yeah, yeah. Format number. Yes, very good. Okay, I can push this to production. Estimate time of block to predict spend windows. Git push origin main, git checkout production, git merge main, git push origin production, git checkout main. Okay, good. This is going to production now. So I'm gonna follow this, and once this is live, we can push this out to live data. But we can already steal our data here. That doesn't matter. And so for, yeah, 130, this is gonna be this here. And so what we can do now is approved spending. I can build approved. I can build. So first of all, if it is not claimed, it would be interesting to see like how many days are left to claim it. Like, can it be when is the, okay, so claimable, and claimable is if this equals approved. So this is one part, yeah. If this equals approved, can I make it like this? No. Like this? No. How does it work? And? Oh, I see. Okay. So if this is approved, and this is valid from is bigger or equal to today, no, this date is bigger than today, no, smaller than today, and this is bigger than or equal than today, then this can be claimed. And then expired, but maybe there is a status expired, but let's copy this. And then if it is it's expired if the date that is here is smaller than today. Okay, it's not expired and it's not yet claimable. Okay, but let's move this out here. So if this is approved, then we want to show this, else we want to just show empty. Yeah. Okay. Then here we do the same. If this is approved, then show this value or show empty. And so we can expand this now. Okay, so for example, there is one that is claimable. It's approved and it's in code. Yes, lovely. Format, okay, this is dot, this is dot, this is dot, number dot, and then this is dot, and this is dot. Oh. Okay, what formats do we have? USDT, USDC. Okay, so we have USDT, we've used the C. And then we have USD, and we have dates here also. What is going on? So we have claimable expired as properties. PQ. And then we could draw a time horizon of when it becomes claimable. But we don't have the formulas here, we have the formulas here. Yeah, let's make a year month. Valid from N R und S. So year month here. So what this would give us now is that we could ask for approved. we could insert right. So, and instead of the ref, we would go for the Q, ST, and then bang, yes. And we would go for the ones that are approved. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna close this down now. This is really good work for today. I'm very happy. Okay, this was a little bit of a side quest, but I think this was very much necessary. This was something that we were waiting for. Okay, Cheaper, if you're still here, take a look here because I'm ending the session now, soonish. But, okay, so what we have in the monitoring sheet now is we have referenda, child bounties, and then I think here makes sense. Outstanding claims. It might make even sense here. Outstanding claims. So this is outstanding claims per month, and this here you see when a claim will become active. When it becomes active, and here you see it by ref. And then these are the ones that are currently being voted on. Okay. I'm ending it here. I'm gonna share this now, and then this was very good, and then end it for the week here, and then next week continue with the Treasury report. All right, thanks for watching. This was Sleek 3 hours 40 minutes.